Tonight on News Final.
Will and Kate touch down in Montreal. The royal couple cook up some excitement. Excited royal watchers. Fans gather for a glimpse of the future king. And scream the name William in Quebec and many will answer. The popularity of the name.
Now from the Global Montreal studios at the corner of Peel and St. Catherine in downtown Montreal, News Final.
Hello, I'm Peter Anthony Holder. Thanks for joining us. Well, it's been quite a day for the royal couple as they continue their official first visit. Tonight, they were at the Old Port to watch the fireworks. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are on board HMCS Montreal. It's a great vantage point to watch the international fireworks competition. The couple will actually overnight on the vessel, which will take them to Quebec City. It will give them a chance to relax on what has been a very busy day for them. It's not very often that royalty have to work for their dinner, but Prince William and his bride Kate did just that earlier this evening. The couple donned the white uniforms of cooking students as they learned to make foie gras, lobster soufflé, and loin of lamb. There was a smattering of protesters outside the Institut de Tourisme et Hôtelier du Québec, but they were countered by plenty of adoring fans amid heavy police presence. As with every royal stop, there always seems to be a young girl who gets to hand the Duchess some flowers. The lucky girl in this case was plucked from the crowd, and it just so happens that she was celebrating her 10th birthday.
Before we came, there was a man, and we asked him if we can give her the flowers. And he said, maybe we can do something. I was over there, and he came and get me, and he said, come give her the flowers.
The cooking workshop was one of many stops Will and Kate are making on their first Canadian tour. Global's Mike LeCouture checked the Royals' itinerary for both Ottawa and Montreal today.
The Royals landed in Quebec slightly behind schedule, but still smiling from their whirlwind tour of Ottawa. After being greeted by the Lieutenant Governor of Quebec, the couple was whisked away to St. Justin's Hospital. Like his mother, Princess Diana, William has an affinity for visiting sick children and their parents. The Duke of Cambridge has said seeing the kids smile means a lot to him. The monarchy has deep roots in this country, so the Duke and Duchess planted a tree in the Royal Grove at Rideau Hall, continuing a tradition of royals before them. The Canadian hemlock can live for up to 800 years. It's also a symbol of their love and marriage. To that end, most of those who attended the ceremony were couples who share the same wedding day as Will and Kate.
So I said, I hope that your marriage is as successful as ours and that you have a long, happy life together.
Also in the crowd, terminal cancer patient Terry Joyce. His dying wish was to meet the royal couple.
Very, very comforting, and very, very friendly, and they were really nice. It's 100 ways, I thought.
Continuing the theme of honoring the military, William and Kate's last stop in Ottawa was at the War Museum to visit with veterans and war brides.
And tell me a bit about your time in Korea.
The couple has been very generous with their time, spending more than a moment with everyone in the room, making sure that each gets the royal treatment.
It does, look at that. Thank you very much.
The couple clearly enjoyed their time in the capital, and many hope they'll feel the same way about their time in Quebec. Mike LeCouture, Global News, Montreal.
There's no doubt that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are the it couple of the year. They spark emotions in people wherever they go. Global's Bhavna Patel was working the crowds in Montreal today as they got ready for their royal encounter.
All around Montreal, people spent the morning getting ready for their glimpse of royalty, something that's not new for Karen Friend.
I'm the same, or will be the same age as Diana. I had a connection with her. We both worked with children, and I think that was really what started me with the royals.
Friend has followed the royals since she met the Queen Mother years back. She's even shaken hands with Prince Charles and Camilla just 2 years ago. She's even purchased dresses by the same designer as Princess Diana's.
And this one apparently was £9,000.
Hers was a bit less on eBay. Now, a new generation is inspiring her, including Kate's more modest fashion choices.
Well, I love her sense of style, and I think they're classic, and I think they're fun. So
Friend is eager to catch a glimpse of the royal couple today, even giving our children some tips.
What do? Do you
tilt your head?
You nod. And Rebecca, what do you do?
They're not the only fans. Hundreds gathered this afternoon at the couple's first pit stop in Montreal, St. Justin's Hospital.
Beyond excitement, because I've waited for this for a long time. It's kind of on my bucket list. Can I meet the royals one time, any family member?
We came, we staked it out, and we thought, you know what, they're probably going to come in through the front lobby, so here we are.
Others drove hours to get here.
Left Toronto at 9 a.m., arrived, and then we decided to do our planning for today.
These girls are here from Texas.
It's so unreal. I mean, you're meeting royalty.
Not everyone was so welcoming. A small but loud group of protesters gathered to have their say against the monarchy.
As we think it's an obsolete institution, not democratic.
It ruined the mood for some watchers.
As a proud Montrealer, I think this show of unhospitality is a travesty, really, and it's an embarrassment.
Still, fans kept their cheers coming. Eager to give a warm welcome to Will and Kate in their first visit to Montreal. Bhavna Patel, Global News, Montreal.
And Kate is very popular with fashion-savvy Montrealers, but William has his legion of fans in the city and this province as well. As Global's Paula Samuels reports, William's popularity, or at least the popularity of his name, is evident in just about every schoolyard in this province.
There's one in first grade, there's one in kindergarten, and there's probably more. I just don't know the others.
William Gauvin hears his name in the schoolyard a lot. Often, though, the kids calling out his name are talking to another William.
People are like, Will, I'm like, and then they're like, not you.
That's because he's one of many, many Williams in this province. In fact, the year he was born in 1999, William was the #1 name in Quebec and has been in the top 2 ever since. This William has had 2 to 3 Williams in every one of his classes since kindergarten.
These moms were calling their son William, because they're mostly French around here. And that's when I kind of wondered, oh, but it's when he registered for school that we went, whoa.
What makes the trend even more interesting is that William doesn't even make the top 10 in other provinces. What's more, most of the Williams here are francophones.
I'm a teacher, so I at least get 1 or 2 Williams per class.
Every year?
Every year.
Of course, this all brings to mind another William, as in Wills, grandson of Queen Elizabeth, son of Diana and Charles, husband of Kate, and oh yes, the future king. The name itself is full of meaning.
If you take the first part, Will, it's mean that protection, desire, and helm. So it will, just by the name, it's a way to say that he care for people.
So why is it that a province that doesn't really have an attachment to the royal family has such an unusual attachment to a royal name? Partially it's due to his mother, the people's princess.
She tried to teach her sons to be closer to the people, to everybody. So I think that's just something that came from that situation.
Diana's popularity, her fairy tale story, fall from royal grace and tragic death, all may be linked to Quebecers' love of the name.
Maybe it was a way for a lot of people to, in a quiet way, to remember her by choosing this name.
So whether it's William, Wills, Will, Billy or Bill, Quebec schoolyards and playgrounds are filled with this regal name. And come this weekend, many of those Williams will no doubt be reaching out to shake hands with this William. As far as namesakes go, this one's not too shabby. Paula Samuel, Global News, Montreal.
Meteorologist Bill Coulter joins us now with a first look at the weather. And William, there was rain in Montreal this afternoon, but rain was spelt differently.
Indeed. Wish I was that popular. It don't even come close, even when I forecast sunshine all week. But it was pretty neat to see their visit to the city. Off to Quebec City tomorrow. Unfortunately, we're going to be seeing thunderstorms through much of the day in Quebec City tomorrow. We'll clear out in Montreal. We get a bit of a change from the really nice weather we saw today and previously. We're going to see those showers begin to build after midnight and some thunderstorms sticking around for the beginning of the day tomorrow, but just enough to water the lawns and maybe make the flower gardens look a little bit better. Later in the day, we start to see some clear out, and then we're back into a nice stretch of good weather. Stick around. The long-range forecast is coming up.
Thanks, Bill. Coming up on News Final, China has unveiled the world's most modern train system. But is all that technology all that it's cracked up to be? And is the price tag worth it? Another royal wedding took place today, and it's said to be even bigger than Will and Kate's. Prince Albert of Monaco and former Olympic swimmer Charlene Wittstock were wed in a traditional church ceremony one day after being married in a civil service. The new princess, Charlene, wore an off-the-shoulder gown by Giorgio Armani and a long veil. Among the 3,500 guests were the kings of Spain and Sweden and other dignitaries. Hundreds of women in Yemen marched in the streets of the capital today, protesting against Yemen's president. The women say they won't stop protesting until the president steps down. They walked through the streets holding candles and anti-government signs. Yemen has been rocked by months of protests by tens of thousands demanding the president end his 33-year reign of power. NATO announced today it will step up its attacks against forces loyal to Muammar Gaddafi in western Libya. But as Paul Johnson reports from Global, the threat of military escalation doesn't seem to have fazed Gaddafi's supporters.
Defiant as ever, Colonel Gaddafi is still able to summon tens of thousands of protesters. Addressing them by phone, he threatens to attack the homes, offices, and families of the European NATO countries that have been bombing his forces. The message is received with jubilation and celebratory gunfire.
We are here to say for all the world that we are with our leader. We can die for our leader.
Still clinging to power in Tripoli and largely in control in western Libya, Gaddafi got a boost today from leaders of the African Union, who called on member states to disregard a recent arrest warrant issued by the International Criminal Court. Presumably, that would allow Gaddafi to travel freely in some parts of Africa. His spokesman, though, says he has no plans to leave the country. But leaving Libya for good is still the stated goal of the NATO coalition.
Instead of issuing threats, Gaddafi should put the well-being and the interests of his own people first, and he should step down from power.
U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says the NATO mission is on track, despite lasting months longer than expected, and with rebel forces bogged down in a stalemate with Gaddafi's soldiers. While Libya's rebels continue to recruit and train new fighters, they haven't been able to advance much beyond the eastern third of the country that they've held since February, or gain much of a foothold in the west, despite a few small advances. Paul Johnson, Global News, Washington.
China has unveiled the world's most modern train system. While Canada lags behind in that sector, China is on a high-speed roll. But as Global's Jazz Johal tells us, the engineering marvel also comes with its share of baggage.
China's new Shanghai to Beijing bullet train has arrived. It's a big day as officials hype the country's latest mega project. The train will cut travel time in half to just 5 hours. Authorities took no chances for opening day. Even the hostesses went through rigorous training. Your eyes have to smile, the hostesses are told. It's advice government officials could be taking themselves.
It may be the world's most modern train, and officials will tell you it represents the new China. But to get to this point meant overcoming the old China.
Railway Minister Liu Zhaijun was fired after allegations he embezzled $30 million. Critics say he built a system too costly for average travelers, making it difficult to pay back loans. Liu is also blamed for shoddy quick construction that's now requiring lower speeds from 350 to 300 kilometers. Officials still are unapologetic.
There have been lots of challenges in building the high-speed rail. However, we've had all the problems solved.
In fact, China is on a $300 billion railway building spree. It poses a competitive challenge to Canada, where the talk of high-speed rail continues, yet nothing has been built.
Is a big country like China able to develop without railways? The answer is no. Developing high-speed rail is in accordance with the country's development and needs of the people.
Once completed, China's high-speed railway network will be 16,000 kilometers long, enough to travel across Canada twice. Jazz Johal, Global News, Beijing.
They're as much a part of summer as the beach. Flip-flops. They've come a long way from being a piece of foam with a strap. But can flip-flops really be good for your feet? Global's Beatrice Politi tells us.
After a long, long winter, we can't wait to break them out.
Just because the comfort, my feet feel more free and I hate wearing socks.
But it can be a love-hate affair with the go-to shoe of summer.
They're tearing my toes apart, the thing in between them. So I don't suggest wearing them shopping.
Summer, a little more jeweled with gems.
This sales associate says fashion plays into it, and for the practical, so does comfort.
They definitely have a lot more shock absorbance in them, especially in the heel, because you do get a lot of pressure in the ball of your foot and in the heel.
Important improvements for this podiatrist who says flip-flops are a very bad idea on flat, hard surfaces.
You get a lot of jarring, especially if there's no cushioning in the flip-flop. It doesn't give any side-to-side support of your foot, and it's easy for your foot to roll in.
Here are some things to look for.
Perhaps more natural materials like leather, so the synthetic plastics, they can cause abrasion and blistering. Their toes shouldn't hang over the front end so that when they're walking, they don't bang the tip of their toes into the concrete.
Flip-flops should be flexible, but they shouldn't bend in half like this or twist. They should bend where our feet bend when we walk.
If they're a little bit more stable, the ones that have a little bit more arch support or thicker sole, they'll bend at the ball of the foot and not so much in the middle.
Look for thick and cushiony footbeds with a heel cup to keep your foot in place and arch support. The easier the shoe stays on your foot, the better. Ultimately, the only thing worse than wearing flimsy flip-flops is going barefoot on concrete, so keep this advice in mind.
Maybe wear them when you're not going to do a lot of walking, that's all I'm saying. Maybe just sitting around, going to a beach, going to a pool, someone's backyard.
Meteorologist Bill Coulter is back with a long-range look at the weather. And Bill, I see we're getting a bit of a break tomorrow from all this great weather.
I'm not sure if that's a break a lot of us want, kind of enjoying the warm, sunny weather. However, the lawns get thirsty, so do the gardens, so I suppose it's okay to see some showers come down. Overnight, we're going to see some of those showers build in, and they're going to linger through the day tomorrow. The cold front does sweep through, but it develops this kind of secondary low, which takes a little bit longer to transition off towards the east. Eventually will. We just get into the early morning thunder showers, a few showers lingering into the midday hours, and then we start to see the sun poke its head back out. Might see a nice sunset. Temperature-wise, it's still going to be in the seasonable or seasonally mild range, getting up to about 26, 27 tomorrow. We did get up to very warm conditions today, that's for sure. We've settled off our daytime high, sitting at 26 right now. It was a lovely day, but you can see the cold front painted out right here. It kind of weakens as it pushes off towards the east. However, with this secondary low that's going to develop, it's going to re-intensify that lift, and that's why we're going to be stuck with some showers and thunderstorms through the day tomorrow. But overall today, it was very bright, just a little bit of cloud cover working its way in through the evening hours. They're looking at all kinds of very active thunderstorm cells through the southwest of Ontario, pushing across Michigan. We're not going to have to deal with that, but you can see where they will push off into New England through the overnight period. We do get a couple of thunderstorms popping up with that low pushing through in the morning. Afternoon clearing for the southwest. Eastern Quebec, further up St. Lawrence River Valley and into the eastern townships, having to deal with them a little bit longer. Then high pressure comes in, clears us all out. Monday, we do see a return to a little bit of cloud cover. I don't think this is really indicative of widespread shower activity, but there could be a couple of showers further up St. Lawrence River Valley on Monday as well. And tonight we get down to 19 with those thunderstorms possible between midnight and dawn and even a little bit thereafter. Here's a look across the region where we do get the cold front slowly pushing its way into eastern Quebec. So you'll just see variable skies tonight, and you'll see those showers and thunderstorms linger tomorrow. 27 degrees with morning, midday showers and storms, and then some late day clearing. Very warm in the Gatineau region. And then it's back into sunshine. Monday, 28. Tuesday, sunshine, 27. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Get a couple of showers move through on Wednesday. Temperature stays warm and then clears back out for the rest of the week and into the weekend. So really not a lot to complain about, Peter.
Thanks, Bill. Still to come on News Final. After Montreal, the Royals hit Quebec City. And tomorrow they'll make a special stop at a youth hostel for troubled teens in the provincial capital. While they're in Quebec City tomorrow, Will and Kate will probably be faced with protests, but there are plenty of people thrilled with the Duke and Duchess's visit, including some young people at a hostel for troubled teens where the couple has specifically asked to make a stop.
During their trip, the couple will make a brief stop here at the Maison Dauphine in the heart of Old Quebec.
When I first heard of it, I was flabbergasted.
We are excited, ecstatic, and really proud too.
For years, the Dauphine has been a refuge for young people like Alexandra, looking for a safe place to learn and explore their talents. On Sunday, a group of 20 will meet Will and Kate.
On a hâte de les voir vraiment. Puis ben c'est ça, il y a des gens qui vont jouer de la musique.
We're excited to see them and to perform for them.
I'm really happy, seriously. It's a big opportunity, and it's not a lot of people in their life who will see a queen or a prince and princess.
For the center's directors, it's a chance to show the world that the young people who some have written off have a lot to offer society.
Ça va montrer aux gens que c'est pas juste les jeunes de la rue, c'est des jeunes qui ont du talent.
He'll show people that these aren't just street kids, they're talented. The excitement at the Maison Dauphine is rare in Quebec. As our exclusive Ipsos Reid poll showed, 67% of Quebecers think we should sever ties with the monarchy after Queen Elizabeth.
I don't care, man.
Some are indifferent to the monarchy and their visit, but there's also disdain. The Quebec Resistance Network is planning to protest the royal visit.
We know it's only a symbol, we know they have no power right now, but we think people should be elected and not chosen by their blood to represent the Quebecer people.
Back at the Maison Dauphine, even those who aren't necessarily fans of royalty think their visit is a good idea.
Seeing this couple coming here and accepting to see these people like they are, it may become like, a good model for everybody. A change of mind, perhaps.
They hope, regardless of politics, understanding will rule the day. Alicia Brian Baines, Global News, Quebec City.
Still haven't filled up on your royal fix? Well, there's plenty of content on our website. Log on to globalmontreal.com for a live blog, and you can also join the conversation or post your pictures. Just click on the royal blog tile at globalmontreal.com. And that's News Final. I'm Peter Anthony Holder. Join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. for the evening news and more on the royal visit to Quebec. Take care, stay safe, have a good night.